Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install a UHF. I'm also going to announce the winner to the giveaway, so stay tuned. All right, let's get to it. Now, I've chosen this particular unit and antenna because it comes with both options. You have your 6 dBi gain, but it also comes with your second 3 dBi gain. So you simply unscrew that, screw your 3 dBi gain on, and you're covered no matter where you go. Attaching the antenna to your ball bar is simple. You may need to drill out your holes a little bit bigger, like I did with this one here. Now, I've chosen this hole here due to the owner of this vehicle wants the option of putting spotlights here later, so I've chosen a low amount so that he's still got the option of spotlights. Now I had to drill this out to fit the antenna. Simply feed the wire through, run the washers and nuts straight up and lock it in there. It's that simple. Now next thing you want to do is find one of the little grommets that lead through the firewall of the car. They usually have these little nipples here. You can simply cut off the ends of the nipples, give you an easy access point straight through the firewall. Now, the next thing you want to do is do a practice run with your antenna cable. So just run it roughly where you think it's going to run. So you can work out a length, run it along, and then work out how much you need to go down. And then once you've got that established, put a bit of electrical tape around it to protect the wire, and then feed some 7mm convoluted tubing right along back to the antenna to protect it from rubbing against anything. Now, feeding convoluted tubing is really easy. Find the little open split end. Now get where you put your tape on there, that's to protect it so you don't cut the outer layer. Just push the open end straight onto it there. Put your thumb and your finger there to squash it, and just keep pulling it along and it'll just feed on itself. Keep it nice and straight. Keep pushing, and it'll feed all the way through. It's that simple. Now, once you've got it fed onto where you want it, just put a little bit more tape just around the end of it here, just to protect it when you're feeding it through the firewall, just in case there's a little bit of excess. It's not going to bunch up and not want to go through the firewall. It'll go through nice and smoothly. Now, you want to find the most practical route as possible for the wiring. I've come up through the grill here, through here, around the battery. I found an existing wiring loom, running along that wiring loom, straight into the nipple, and cable tying every 30 centimeters to stop anything from rubbing. Now you can see I've fed the cable straight through the grill here and purposely left a bit of slack here. The ball bar or nudge bar will always move independently from the body, so you always have that bit of flex there. So if you don't leave this little bit of slack here, you end up ripping the cable straight out of the antenna. Now that you get your antenna cable right up to the firewall, what you want to do, I've got a piece of plastic here. You can use a little piece of metal or coat hanger is a great thing as well. Just make sure the ends aren't too sharp, otherwise you'll pierce your wiring looms and that's going to be an absolute pain to repair. So what you want to do, put a little bit of spray on it, make it a lot easier to feed through because they can be quite difficult. Start pushing it into the nipple, maybe caught, so it might take a couple goes to get it through, but once it's through, push it through as far as you can, and then we'll go on the other side and we'll finish pulling it through. Now what you want to do, find your pull cord under the dash. You might need to reach up a bit to actually reach it. Mine's nice and long, so mine's easy to grab. So pull it through until you feel the convoluted tubing. Once you reach that, stop and we'll go put some spray on it from the other side. Now you can see the convoluted tubing has just reached the nipple here. So what we're going to do, pull it back a little bit, give it a good spray for the whole length that's going to go through there so you don't get any resistance. And then finish pulling it through until there's still a little bit of length left here. Now, if I left it like this at the moment, although it looks neat, I would have issues later on. As soon as I get water under the bonnet, water would run down through the convoluted tubing, straight through the nipple and into the car. So all you want to do, pull a little bit back, cable tie it down a bit lower, that way any water runoff comes down here and doesn't go through the nipple. Right, now that we have the length we want under here, what you want to do now, route it through behind your console to the driver's side. Simply feed it straight through under your carpet. And then you can go around and pull it through. Now simply just reach up in here, feel your cord. Pull the whole length through, go back around the other side, cable tie it there, hide under the carpet, whatever you got to do to make it look neat on the other side, and then we'll continue with this side. Now the UHF we're installing today is the same unit I have in my car myself. So it's the Uniden UH9060. It's a little hideaway unit, which means you can hide under the dash, no need to see it, as it's already got a speaker and all the buttons you need directly on the handpiece. Now I'll just quickly run through you what's in the box. You get your user manual. This is the main unit itself. Like I said, it's very small, very easy to hide away under the dash. You get your handpiece. You get a couple of mounting brackets here. That screws straight on the side of the unit here. If you wanted to use this mount here, you put your bolts through here. The unit slides straight onto the mount here. Easy to remove later on. Otherwise, you get a second mount here. Bolt through there. Bolt it through the side of the unit there, and that'll actually pivot as well. So that's a fixed mount that will actually pivot the unit. Get your main power cable here with your two 3-amp fuses on positive and negative, but we won't be using these today, as where we're picking up on the cigarette plug, they're now aluminium wiring. If on the old cars they were copper wiring, you could solder to them, but it's not recommended you solder to the aluminium wires. So we've got a patch harness that's going to avoid any further power issues there. This is your extension cable for your handpiece. We'll be using that as well. And then you have your handpiece mount here, all your nuts and bolts and all your options here. Right, now we're ready to hook up the power. Like I mentioned, we're going to use an adapter rather than soldering straight to the cigarette plug. We can use a patch harness, make it a lot easier, and we know we're not going to have any drums in the future. So simply pull out your dash here, reach in, unplug your cigarette plug. Now what we're going to have to do, undo the secondary lock here, then unpick this from the front here and pull out these wires, and we'll put a new little plug on here, and then it will just piggyback straight off of that. Like I said, get your little pick tool, pop this secondary lock upwards here, and then get the front of the plug. Remember which direction the wires go in. You want to make sure it goes back in the same way, so you don't pop a fuse. Stick your little pick tool in the front here, lift the little pin upwards, and then it will come out of the rear here, and repeat that with the other one, and then we'll put the new plug on. Same thing again, make sure this second lock is popped like that, upwards, and with the plug facing you the same way as it was before, simply insert. These one going one way, up or down, so make sure you get them in the right way. These ones want it facing downwards. Push it in until you feel a solid click. Repeat it with the other one. And then push a secondary lock in. And that's it, that can't come out now. Now repeat the same process with the plug you removed with the new patch harness. So you're positively on the left again with the plug facing towards you. And just slip the pins straight in until you feel a solid click, and lock the secondary lock. Now that you've moved this black plug from the original cigarette plug to the new patch harness, with the other end of the patch harness here, you want to plug that into the car plug there with your new plug, and this black plug here will plug straight back into the cigarette plug. Now that's all powered up, ready to go. We know we've done it the right way. We're not going to have any issues. The other end of the harness here has a plug on it that will plug directly into the unit. You can pick these looms up from your dealer. This is a Toyota loom, so I got this from a Toyota dealer. Now I'm simply going to feed this through the dash here, under the steering column, and back over to the kick panel where we're going to connect it to the main unit. Now, like I showed you before, if you're not using the patch harness to power the unit up, nothing wrong with using the power cable that comes with the unit. Simply solder these two ends here to a cigarette plug or wherever you can pick up an accessory power from. They're only 3-amp fuses, so they don't use a lot of power, so you're not going to blow anything. You can still use a cigarette plug, and then it simply plugs straight into the unit as well. Now the Hilux is really easy to mount in the unit too. I found a good little spot that's got a nice nutsert to use directly behind the kick panel here. So simply pull up your scuff plate under your screw for your kick panel. Put that somewhere safe so you don't lose it. Cup holder is always a good place. Simply remove your kick panel, and now you can easily access the mounting location. As you can see, just there's a little nutsert location, an M6, so a little 6mm bolt. Your mounting bracket will sit straight there like that, and then the unit will sit straight on there. How easy is that? Like I said, we're using this mount here, so we'll be able to slide the unit in and out for easy access anytime. So simply get these little side brackets here, click it straight onto the unit, and then it has one little screw hole here, which is screw straight into, and then it's ready to go. Now with the Hiluxes, this dash piece that I pulled out here, what I do, underneath here, I find this little piece here, I notch out this tiniest little piece here with a die grinder, allowing the handset cable to feed straight through here, feeds underneath here, and you can't see it, and it looks quite neat when it's finished. Now I've used the Handpiece extension, which plugs just in here, runs through the dash here, down along the steering column, and down to the main unit. We'll get to that in a minute. The other end, I've got the handpiece coming out there, through that little hole that I die grinded, coming down back to here at the moment. So this can all go back together now. I'll show you what it looks like. Now you can see it comes out under here. Because I've die grinded that little piece away, which you can't see, it's still loose enough. It's not crushing the cord. And the phone holder sits nicely there. Now, I'm not mounting the handpiece mount. I'll leave that up to the owner of the car, so he can decide where he wants to mount it. So for now, I've just got it sitting in the cup rest, and he can decide where he wants to go from there. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, with your antenna, you also receive this little plug here. You need to then purposely leave this off so that it's easier for you to feed through your firewall without having to feed this big plug through it. GME give you one that you solder on. A lot of units solder on, and some of the other brands solder on. With the Uniden one, it simply pushes on and screws on, and you just simply do up the nut and it's ready to plug into the unit. Now that you have all three of your wires running down to the unit, you want to install your handset, lock that one in there, then your antenna next, push it in, screw it in, and always the last thing you do is connect power. If you connect the power first, you risk damaging the unit, so always connect everything else and then the power. Now that your unit's mounted, you've got all this excess cable. Make sure you run it up along the top of your dash here. Be careful, you don't want to get in the road of your steering column or anything else in here moving. Cable tie as many points as you can. You don't want it to interfere with the steering wheel or trip on your feet while you're driving. So that's a big safety issue. Make sure you do a really good job with this belt. Also, the antenna cable. Don't bunch it up too tight, otherwise it's going to affect your signal. Now that it's all hooked up, turn your accessories on, hold the power button at the top. Best channel to do a radio check on is channel 40, that's the road channel. So go to 40, just ask, has anyone got a radio check? Someone will respond, you know it's all working fine. Alright, let's give it a crack. Hey Wayne, you got a copy?
Yeah, copy mate, you're loud and clear.
Hey mate, really looking forward to doing that canopy versus camper trailer video with you. Alright, I'll catch you later.
Yeah mate, absolutely stoked. It's been a long time coming and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's it guys. It really is that simple. If there's anything I've missed, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I'm always happy to answer. Now, to your favourite part, let's announce the winner of the Uniden handheld giveaway. I just went on to Google random number generator and downloaded a random number. And the winner was 4x4 Inspired Jacko. Congratulations mate, you've won these handhelds. Send me a message on Instagram and I'll organise delivery for you. But I hope everyone else has enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like, and if you haven't already, maybe even subscribe. But thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers! The bull bar or nudge bar always moves independently from the body. So you're always going to have that little bit of flex. So if you don't leave this little bit of slack here, you're going to end up